Alright, so I got some lines laid out here on the knife where I'm going to rough my bevels up to, where I'm going to grind in my false edge here on the clip, and then ultimately where I'm going to grind in the fuller at. So the first thing I'm going to jump on is grinding this fuller in, and then once it's done on both sides, we'll rough in our bevels. So let's get over to the grinder and get to work. So here's where we are on everything. I've got the blade all cleaned up. I got some oil on there right now to keep it from rusting. I took it up to a gray Scotch-Brite finish, and now I'm going to turn my attention to the guard here. For that, I'm going to be using this piece of mild steel. So I'm going to go over to the grinder, get both sides of it cleaned up, and then we'll chuck it up in the mill and get the slot for the guard done. Alright, so here we are so far. Looks a lot different than the last clip, but that's because there's only so much bandsaw work and all of that I want to show, because it kind of gets monotonous and gets old when you're watching the video. Basically, I just went in and I cut out the handle. I cut out the inside to match the tang. I used the drill, drilled some holes in here, used a file to file this out, and then threaded the end of the tang here. And got a nut put on it to hold it in place temporarily until I can get the handle scale squared away. And so where we are right now is we're going to switch our attention away from the tang, and we're going to switch it over here to the guard. I'm going to get the guard cut to the proper length. It's not going to be this big. And then I'll begin narrowing it down, shaping it, shaping the spacer, and then we'll move on to the rest of it. Also, I did want to show you this here. The frame portion of this handle slots up into the spacer there. And so what I did was I came up and filed in these little tabs here, and these slide up into the spacer here, and it holds everything secure and in place. And then so that'll be the way that works. We'll put the nut down here, tighten it up, and everything should be held nice and solid. And then we'll be putting handle scales on here and getting it finished up. So not too far off now. Alright, here's where we are. Got everything rough shaped. Still a little bit of cleanup to do after it's all said and done. Now though, I'm going to come right here and I'm going to drill another pinhole. This pinhole will go through the scales, through the tang, and then when we pin it all together, when I glue it up, it'll be nice and secure. I do have a nut in there that holds the tang in, but I want to put this in just to be safe in case something ever goes wrong. All of this will be filled with epoxy, so the likelihood of that nut loosening off is basically pretty much impossible, but you never know. I just want to be safe with it. So with that being said though, let's go over to the drill press, get a hole drilled, get the pin put through it, and then we'll be ready to start just cleaning stuff up, shaping a few things, and we'll be done. Alright, so everything went well with the glue up, so I'm going to get all these pins cut off here and then go over to the grinder and get the handle shaped. I'll show you how it turns out here in a minute. Alright, there's how we turned out. Not too bad for the first one of these I've ever made. I learned a lot, made a lot of mistakes. The things I learned from those mistakes I'll be able to use in future builds. But with that being said, I appreciate you watching. Hit that sub button if you would. Ring the notification bell to notify of my newest content, and I will see you on the next one. You all have a good one. Bye-bye.